Hey, beautiful soul. You're listening to the Rising into Mindful Motherhood podcast, your weekly dose of fertility wisdom. I'm your host, Dr. Katie Wood. I'm a barefoot mama bear, pharmacist, and integrative fertility coach. This is your go-to podcast for all things to naturally nourish your fertility, embody womb healing, and reclaim your feminine power to accelerate your path to pregnancy. My expert guests and I will be having intentional conversations to discuss the many facets of a thriving, fertile foundation, natural wellness, and how we grow and transform as women on our journey to motherhood. So let's dive in, shall we? Hello, and welcome to Rising into Mindful Motherhood. I'm really excited for this episode because I think it's something that is really near and dear to my heart because it's something that I experienced while we were trying to get pregnant. And I think it is something that is so common that every woman experiences when she doesn't get pregnant right away. So I recently had one of my clients kind of tell me that she had a hard day. It was the first day of her cycle, and typically she can kind of, hold face and not let it bother her and trust in the process and in divine timing, really. And my heart just went out to her because I feel like I was immediately brought back in 2017, 2018, when we were trying to get pregnant. And it's like you do have those cycles where you can stay strong and maybe not cry and not let it bother you and just, right, move forward, move on, next cycle, let's go. And I think there's two sides to this. There's one side where you can truly be neutral about it and trust and surrender. And then there's the other side where you're actually just suppressing those emotions and pushing through. Most likely because when you were growing up, you were told to stop crying or, not allowed to feel your feelings, feel your emotions, and move through them, right? Big girls don't cry. Wipe your tears off, shake it off, right? And just being able to maintain this facade that everything's okay. I'm okay, right? You're falling apart inside, but it's like, I'm okay. I got this. It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. So my heart really went out to her because I was literally transported to this past version of myself where I totally experienced this, where it's like, okay, this cycle, I'm fine. We're going to keep trucking forward. And then other cycles, I would fall to pieces. And in this episode, I basically want to talk about why in those moments when you're just like, oh, screw it. Like, why are we even trying? Why are we even doing this? Like, you just want to burn it all down, stop trying. You don't even want to think about it. You're just so upset. You feel like giving up. You feel broken. You feel worthless. All of these things. And I feel like we almost hold shame and frustration and disappointment when we feel these things, when we feel upset, when we feel angry, when we feel sad. But I'm here to tell you, and this is what I shared with her, this is actually a beautiful opportunity. So whether you're coming from this place of neutrality or you're coming from this place of suppressed emotion, this is a beautiful, amazing opportunity for you. Your body is speaking to you through these emotions. And maybe in the past cycles when you were able to keep your shit together and not ugly cry or whatever it is, maybe you weren't ready to release whatever is under the surface. But now in this cycle, when these emotions are coming up, that's the way of your soul telling you, like, you are ready. You are emotionally mature enough and ready to hold this emotion and to let it go. Now, this may be some new language for some of you, but this is actually a very deep, intimate piece that I include in my group and one-on-one fertility coaching programs. I've been doing like a womb embodiment certification in embodying myself in these practices, and it is absolutely amazing what we are capable of doing when we can tune in and listen to our bodies communicate to us. So one of the things that I encouraged her to do was listen. I gave her two different meditation options, and I, told her to choose which one spoke to her the most. And it's really what they're going to do is help you drop into your body. And what that really means is being completely present within your body. So you can begin, like, your awareness just expands and broadens, and you're able to begin to notice different sensations within your body. We hold our emotions within our body, and they speak to you through maybe some tightness, that pit in your throat, or that pit in your stomach, or that lump in your throat, that pit in your stomach, that fluttering in your stomach. It could be a range of emotions: excitement, scared, nervous, all anger, all of these things. And I encouraged her to do one of these meditations and really allow herself space to drop into her body, connect with her body, and feel into, where is this sensation living? Is it in your solar plexus? Is it in your throat? I know sometimes when I do these, I feel like a lump in my throat, like a tightening in my throat. Is it in your womb space, your sacral chakra? I've had some of my clients experience like almost like a headache or pain, like we have our third eye chakra. It can be in so many different places. And in these meditations and in the containers that I hold my clients in, I help them move through it, right? So you find the sensation, you breathe into it. You breathe into it. You find safety within the body. You let your body know it is safe to feel these emotions. You prime safety within the body as part of these meditation practices, to let your body, your womb, your soul know that it is safe to feel these emotions. So many of us have been conditioned to not feel our emotions, and we live in such a fast-paced world that we are in a chronic state of fight or flight. Always like, scanning our environment, even if like you don't realize it, even if you're not aware of it, your subconscious is always scanning the environment for a threat, ready to run, pounce, whatever it is, fight or flight. My body was oh my gosh, like working retail pharmacy is like, oh, the epitome of fight or flight, like highly dysregulated nervous system. And it is something I am still working on to this day. And I just have to, right, remind myself, drop into my body like, hey, it's okay to sit and eat your lunch and enjoy it and take your time, among so many other things where I just feel like I need to get it done right now so I can move on to another thing, because that's just how it was in retail pharmacy. Like, fill all these scripts, go counsel this patient, doctor call, insurance calls, answer 10,000 other questions. It's just like boom, 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 boom. And I know that we all experience this in our jobs, in our personal lives, in our relationships. When you're trying to have a baby, it just adds to it. So anyways, going back, you feel into these emotions, you breathe into it until you feel a release. And sometimes there can be like this peak emotion release, crying. Maybe you need to like vocalize something. I have had really powerful meditation experiences in the past where the tears just started coming and I didn't even know. But it doesn't always happen. There can be different releases. And yeah, I think that we are just so much in our thinking brain, our logical mind, where we either don't allow ourselves to feel into these emotions or we make ourselves wrong for feeling into them, that we're never actually in our body to fully feel what is there to be healed. And it could be the emotion that could be coming up for her. I know it was definitely an emotion, like an underlying core wound, I should say. I can definitely say this for me, and maybe for her, and maybe for you. It could be a core wound of unworthiness, for example. Maybe there was an experience in your childhood where you felt like you had to do XYZ to get someone's love. So you felt unworthy without doing that thing. Or maybe when you were a child, there were some kids that picked on you and they didn't include you at their birthday party in some event, and you didn't feel worthy of their friendship. So it may just seem like you're sad or angry or frustrated because you didn't get pregnant that cycle. But what's happening is you're feeling it more this cycle, maybe compared to other cycles, because this core wound, this energetic distortion in your body, because when we don't resolve past traumas, it creates an energetic distortion within our body, which is going to affect the flow of energy, our life force energy, which is what you need to have an abundant fertility, right? To have this natural flow of energy. And this wound is trying to just like, almost like a seed that was, like squirrels will take nuts and hide them in the fall. It happened. We used to have this walnut tree, and we would find little walnut seedlings all over the yard, which is very annoying. But the squirrels would dig and hide the walnuts in the ground. So it's like this wound is deep, it's hidden. Your subconscious is hiding it from you to keep you safe. But then it's slowly coming up, and then it starts to emerge. And what that can look like is feeling extra upset about not getting pregnant that cycle, or feeling extra triggered when you see that pregnancy announcement. And my invitation to you is, instead of pushing this down, ignoring it, moving on, or instead of, shaming yourself or making it wrong for, "Oh, I don't know why I'm more upset this cycle," as if it's a sign of weakness or something, because it's definitely guilty of that. Witness it, acknowledge it, journal about it. Find yourself some quiet time for yourself. Meditate. I have a free womb meditation. I'll put the link in the show notes. It's a 5-6 minute meditation. It's not the meditation that I was sharing with my client, but it is a really beautiful meditation. So yeah, just inviting you to look at these emotions through a different lens on your journey. How can you learn from it? How can you grow? How can you evolve from cycle to cycle, right? I feel like each cycle is there to teach us something new about ourselves. And our bodies are powerful, they are wise, and they communicate with us. It's just, are we present and aware enough to listen and hear the message? If you are curious about how I support my clients on their fertility journeys, I focus on two factors: practical strategies, and then the energetic embodiment. And I marry them together, right? As a pharmacist and an integrative fertility coach, I marry those things together. And I have a few different programs available. So I will put a link in the show notes. It will link to my website. It'll show you the different ways that we can work together. And then, of course, you can always DM me on Instagram, send me an email. Those are all in the show notes. And either way, even if you just gleaned one thing from this podcast episode, it's just to be curious and be open to looking at any different emotions or reactions that are coming up for you through a new lens, through a different lens. Like, I seem to always react this way, or maybe this is a new reaction for me. Usually I don't get upset about pregnancy announcements, but now I'm feeling really triggered by it. Whatever it may be, just looking at it through a new lens. And I'm here to help you kind of dissect that a little bit more, and to be able to resolve it and integrate it into your life and your fertility journey, so you can come out on the other side stepping in to your higher purpose, your higher self, which is only going to serve you in the long run as a mother. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. And I do just want to remind you, if you are interested in working together, you can leave a review on whichever platform you love and screenshot it to me, send it to me, and you can get $250 off one of my high-level fertility coaching programs. So I love you. I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Rising into Mindful Motherhood podcast. If this episode resonated with you or gave you an aha moment, stop what you're doing right now and write a review. This simple act of kindness helps me get this podcast out to connect with as many women as I possibly can. I also have a special offer. If you send me a screenshot of your review, I will take $250 off one of my premium coaching containers. Let me know what resonated with you the most and why. So connect with me in my free Facebook community or tag me on Instagram. You'll find both listed below. Thanks again from the bottom of my heart for tuning in to this episode, and I'll see you next time.